Welcome to the eWay-CRM Academy series. My name is Ernest, and today we're going to look at how you can manage your sales pipeline inside of eWay-CRM Online. Let's dive in. So for today's demo, I'm going to be working in Outlook Online, but this is going to look very similar if you're also working in the new Outlook for Windows or Outlook for Mac. So let's look at what eWay-CRM does for you here. We are an Outlook add-in who are going to give you a preview panel so you can immediately see who you're communicating with and save your emails, as well as this drop-down menu here where I can launch my contacts, look at my sales pipeline, manage projects, review my tasks, etc. So looking here, I have an email from a guy named Bob Johnson. He's looking for our services and asking for a telephone call. I don't think I know Bob. And I can look here at my preview panel and see that Bob's not yet in my database. How do we get him there? It's very simple. We've got these big buttons converting Bob directly to a contact or converting Bob to a deal. But we can also do more. With this drop-down arrow, we could also punt this, deal with it in a few days, convert it to a task. Or if he's an existing customer, maybe we need to convert this to a project. But because today's focus is on sales, let's convert Bob to a deal. As you can see, that was quick and simple. Open up our deal and let's look at the deal screen. As you see here, eWay pops up right on top of your inbox. So you're not clicking between tabs. Everything lives right here inside of Outlook. So looking at my deal, the first thing to note here is going to be my workflow. Workflow is completely customizable. So whatever stages you have to get somebody from a prospect to a client, this can easily be reordered, renamed, and built the way you need. If you have multiple different types of sales, no problem. We have this type field here, which allows you to change not only the workflow, but also the form. So if you have different products or services you sell, you can make sure that you're going through the right workflow and gathering the right information for that type of deal. We're going to go back to opportunity. And the next thing I want to point out here is my form. As we saw with type, this is customizable as well. Let's clean it up. We need your services was the subject of the email. Let's give it a slightly better name. We'll call it the Bob deal. And we guess his business based on the domain. This usually works, but in this case, Bob doesn't work for Outlook. That's just the free email address I'm using. We'll X that out and save it. Finally, the next thing to note are my tabs. This keeps everything organized and allows you to easily jump to what you're looking for. A lot of zeros up there now. All we have is the email, but as we progress through the flow, we're going to fill many of these up. The one tab to highlight here is my hub. The hub is going to be my snapshot of, in this case, the deal, and gives me a nice chronological history of everything happening. This is where my journals, my emails, my documents, and tasks live, so I can come right here and see where the deal is at. Looking at the body of the email, you're seeing that Bob's asking for a telephone call. So let's go to Add New Journal. Journal is my tool for meeting notes, for call notes, anything where you want this timestamp posted so you know exactly when this happened. Subject will be Call with Bob. And, as you can see, he and I had an amazing conversation. Let's just keep it simple. A $10,000 deal, closing end of month, and I need to send him a proposal. We'll save this, and I don't want to forget to send Bob this proposal. So let's add a new task, and the subject will be Build Bob's Proposal. I don't type well with an audience, guys. I apologize. And perhaps I promise this to Bob by Monday. We can also delegate this task. The solver field are going to be all of my eWay users, all of my colleagues also using eWay. In this case, let's give it to Dan and we'll save it. So right now, Dan's getting an email letting him know he's been assigned the task to build Bob's proposal. He wasn't on that call with Bob, but it's really no big deal because when he opens it up, he's going to see that there's a linked deal that he could open, but he's also going to see a journal attached. He can open up that journal. He'll find all the notes he needs to build that proposal, and it's very simple. Everything connects. We're just one big spider web where everything links together. Going back here to the task, let's talk a bit about tasks inside of eWay-CRM, because these are tasks with accountability, I guess. When Dan completes it, I'm going to get notified. Additionally, I can keep this task inside of my task list so I can keep track of all those delegated tasks I've given others. Finally, because I created it, I have the ability to come in here, change the due date, reassign it to somebody else, or even mark it complete for him. So these are features Outlook doesn't give you in the classic version, and these are nice to have this oversight here with tasks inside of eWay. Closing the task, closing the journal, let's return back to the deal, and we can move this to the qualification stage now because we know the revenue is $10,000 and we have an estimated close date end of month. We should save this, and the next thing we need to do is get this to the proposal stage. Let's talk a bit about document management inside of eWay. Let's go to Add New Document and quickly, with just a few clicks, get a document uploaded. Grab the proposal. The type here is a proposal. We can save and close, and with like 3 clicks, we've now just uploaded a proposal right here into the Documents tab. As you can see, it also lives here in my hub, along with the journal, the email, and the task. So I'm not asking you to upload all of your documentation to eWay, but maybe those active proposals, those signed contracts, the things that you always want close at hand, easily upload those to your CRM so they're always easy to find. So what I'm going to do now is save and close this, and let's go send Bob an email. Let's look at how emails work in eWay. Just go to my inbox, reply, and thank Bob for his time. And I'll hit send. So saving emails in eWay-CRM. We have automatic email saving where you can turn that on at the server level. So all incoming emails and outgoing emails from your contacts automatically get saved to the contact. Additionally, if that's more than you need, you can also save emails individually. It's as simple as clicking the Save Email button. And where do we want that to go? We want to save that to the Bob deal. Here I can link this to deals, contacts, companies, projects, anything I want this email linked to, we can do that. In this case, we just need it going to the Bob deal. Reopening the Bob deal, you'll see that that email has been saved. Very nice and simple. Very nice and simple. Let's move Bob to the proposal stage. And there's no need to belabor it. Bob loved the proposal. He signed the contract and we won the deal. Go team. So with eWay-CRM, once a deal is won, we have the ability, if you want, to transfer it to a project. So if the deal is for making the sale, that project for delivery. So you now have this new workflow. And as you can see, all of the communication has followed that deal into the project. So now when this gets handed off to a new team, perhaps they have all of the documentation they need to move forward with it. One thing I do want to spend time on in projects, this is not a project demo, this is a sales demo, but this is something that can also work whether you're in deals or sales, anywhere you have workflow. As you progress through a workflow, as you hit new stages, there's always a checklist of items that needs to be done as you hit a new stage in a flow. With eWay-CRM, we can help you make sure nothing is overlooked. We can set up automated tasks that are created as you progress through each stage. So as you see, when I hit the kickoff stage here, we have a task created, schedule the kickoff meeting. Very simple, very easy. Make sure nothing gets overlooked. We don't need this. Let's right click on it and mark it complete. And that's really all I want to spend time with in projects for today. We have additional videos on projects that take a deeper dive here. What I'll do now is open up Bob the Contact and briefly look at what contacts look like here in eWay. As you can see, all of Bob's deals link to Bob the Contact. All of Bob's projects link to Bob. And all of that communication that we did with him in the deal also links here to the contact. So wherever I go looking for it, I'm always going to link and find what I need. Next thing I want to talk about here is my pipeline, looking at my deals and figuring out how to start sorting them. In the classic version of eWay-CRM Desktop for Windows, our reporting is all done in a list view. And this is quite helpful. I can see where it is in the workflow. I can see estimated close dates. I can see everything I need here, next steps to make sure that this gets done. And a new feature in eWay-CRM Online that doesn't live in the desktop version is what we call in-cell editing. It's been the most requested feature in my 4 years here. So this works just like Excel. I can click on a cell, I can update the title, easy to do. But a cool thing with eWay-CRM Online is that we have recently added what we call board views or Kanban views, where I can view my deals in cards. This is a game changer for me. I can now drag and drop my deals between stages, but this is now a one-stop shop as a dashboard. As you can see here with this deal, I can come over here, click a link, and see the emails that are happening. I can click this and see the journals that have happened. I can see the tasks that need to be done. So I don't have to open up my deals to quickly see what's going on here. I can also see the estimated close dates, who on my team owns that deal, and the estimated revenue. If there's more fields I want visible in the card, we have Field Chooser. So in this instance, maybe let's add the phone number, which allows me to quickly now click to call these people, again, without having to open up the contact. We give you a handful of pre-built views, but let's look at maybe deals by owners. I could look at it in list view, or we could go to board view again, and now I can visualize who has which deals, how much money's in their pipeline, and maybe I want to give one of my lesser deals to my colleague, Julia. Easy, just dragging and dropping it, and now my numbers quickly update on their own. So I hope this was helpful. This is just the basics of managing a pipeline in eWay-CRM Online. Thanks for joining us, and go to the resources section of our website to find more videos or subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember to be effective with eWay-CRM.